Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. My name is Susan Purnell. Just a few months ago, over 1,700 SU students completed their degrees as the university celebrated its 91st year spring commencement. Most have since entered the workforce or are starting the next stage of their education, working on advanced degrees. At the same time, there are many residents in our area who are completing their time in the workforce, looking forward to retiring and entering what is now being called the third act of life. Others may be interested in learning about topics as varied as writing, music, and local history, but don't want to pursue a degree or commit to a lengthy series of classes. Since 2007, SU has provided educational outlets for those individuals through programs such as Learn with SU, Adventures in Ideas, and Presto for the performing arts. In the past year, the university has made a firm commitment to continuing and to expanding these types of opportunities by establishing the Center for Extended and Lifelong Learning. Here to tell us about the center and its offerings is its director, Mary Angela Baker. Well, welcome, Mary Angela.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So good to see you again.
Yes.
So before we get talking about the center, let's talk about you and your background and what brought you here to SU.
Well, I came to Salisbury University to be the founding director of the Center for Extended and Lifelong Learning. So that's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. And what we are is continuing education, professional development, and lifelong learning. And it's a brand new department, so I came to be creating something out of nothing. So when I arrived here, I had an office and said, go forth and connect with the community, and that's what I've been doing.
And what had you done before?
I worked in continuing education and professional development my whole career.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and I've done leadership development, everything from summer camps for young people to lifelong learning for seniors and many different initiatives around women's leadership.
And when did you get here?
15 months ago.
Okay, and that's when the center really started then,
right,
is that right?
Exactly.
So what's the target audience for the center's programs?
Well, the target audience are the members of the Eastern Shore community and then the greater Mid-Atlantic region. So as we're thinking about programming, we're really saying to ourselves, how are we connecting Salisbury University with people not only in Wicomico County, but the greater area of the Eastern Shore, and then a little bit farther beyond that.
Is that usually people my age? Or are you sort of thinking
all
not
ages,
necessarily
all ages,
Okay.
right? Because lifelong learning does not begin at 50. So I mean, often we think of lifelong learners as being the retiree, and people are lifelong learners from the time they go to the library and pick up that first book, as they go through their own career development, thinking about what can I learn next to keep me competitive, and then more personal enrichment as often as they are older and have more leisure time.
So do you also provide any services here on campus? I mean, for people who are students here now?
Right. Generally, our students or learners are people who are not undergraduate students. So we're reaching out to members of the Salisbury University community, but because we're non-credit, our classes are mostly for other folks in the area who are coming onto campus.
So it is a non-credit program.
Correct.
Now, you know, it's interesting to me that many people know of SU, and yet so few have actually been on campus.
Right.
Do you provide any kind of tour of the campus for those people that might be interested?
Absolutely. So when I first came and began learning about Salisbury University, I was amazed by all the fabulous things going on. And so my first question was, well, what are we going to do about that? How are we going to share this with others who haven't been here? So we created a program called Discover SU, and what it is, they're free tours once a month, and we offer a guided tour for the different departments. So for example, in September, Liz Kaufman will be doing the Way We Work Smithsonian exhibit, which is in the Downtown Art Gallery. In October, we're having the sustainability initiatives with Wayne Shelton. And Salisbury University has won many awards for being green. And we've, the question is, what does that mean? What exactly is it to be a sustainable campus? And so Wayne will take us through the different initiatives and show us the new Academic Commons building and how that is considered a green building, and different initiatives, all the way to being here in PAC TV, PAC 14. We're going to have a tour in February, on February 22nd, and saying, what is PAC 14? What is Delmarva Radio? And open again to the public to learn about the campus.
That's fantastic. Are these free programs?
Absolutely.
So you just sign up.
You just sign up,
with your
and we
office.
send you a confirming email to make sure that you know where the right place is that we're starting. And it's a great way to not only learn about the community, but meet other people who are interested in learning more about Salisbury University.
Now, we've talked about tours on campus. How about off campus? Tell us about some of the, I guess, field trips, day trips that
Sure.
you've taken, and or maybe some of those that you have planned.
Again, the Delmarva Peninsula has so many fabulous things going on, and we want to be able to learn more and extend our reach to those places. So the Chesapeake Bay Lighthouse Tour, this is a fabulous opportunity to have, to go visit 5 different lighthouses on the Chesapeake Bay. It's Tuesday, September 26th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. and we're going to visit 5 historic lighthouses. So we'll meet at the Marker 5 restaurant, which is part of Tillman Island, and then go from there.
That's so exciting. You go by boat?
We'll go by boat, so you have to wear your boat shoes and
great.
dress for the weather because we'll be going.
That is a fun trip.
And the weather, might be a little rocky, but it'll be an opportunity to learn about the lighthouse, learn about why they're important and how they impacted the community. So we've marketed as a moderate activity, with knowing it could get a little bit, if the wind and the waves are a little rocky, so just to know. So kind
Take
of
your
folks,
Dramamine.
Exactly. And then on October 12th, we're going to Smith Island. And this is a tour that's led by Tom Horton. And Tom lived on Smith Island for 3 years. He wrote a book. And so we go back and we visit it. And we talk about the economy of Smith Island. We talk about the economic impact that's happening as more and more people are leaving. And we talk about the environment and what's next for the island.
Do you know I've lived here since I was a baby, and I've never been to Smith Island. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
I've got to go on that tour.
October 12th.
October 12th.
Right.
I've got to go. That just sounds so interesting.
And I've been on the tour twice now, and each time learned something new. And so
you
visit,
have?
yeah. So we would visit residents of the Smith Island and hear their stories. We actually are in the home of Mary Ada Marshall, who was the person who passed the legislation to create the Smith Island cake. Yes,
Right.
our state cake.
Our steak cake from that little teeny island. So now these must have a cost.
Right. So the Smith Island tour is $180, and the Chesapeake Bay Lighthouse is $160. We make it really easy. We have lunch provided, and when you come to for the Smith Island tour, we take the ferry across together. So there is an expense, but
Sure.
yeah.
You would expect that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you certainly can't do that kind of thing for free.
Correct.
So let's also talk about, we talked about Tom Horton, who's a great writer.
Exactly.
We have many good Eastern Shore writers. And I know the center's Lighthouse Literacy Guild, is that what it's called?
Lighthouse Literary Guild.
Literary Guild. Brings together those who do teach writing to help those who might want to learn about that.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the Guild is a place to bring emerging writers together, to bring working writers together, to enhance your skill. And it's building a community of writers, which we say the often solitary practice of writing alone, but bringing people together to work on their skills. We do 6-week classes that are starting September 18th. So we have 3 different classes that are offered once a week. We have retreats, so we have visiting scholars who come and spend the day with us, and folks are able to take a very specialized class. And it really is a way to say, because you're right, there's so many people here with such fabulous stories to tell. So whether it's a memoir or a fiction or nonfiction, and my favorite class is the Grammar for Grown-Ups. Because I received actually...
I could use that.
I received an email with someone, and I almost sent it back to her and said, can you fix this and make sure it's all properly written? And how important it is to be able to communicate professionally with people, because that's your brand, that's your statement, your reputation when you send something. And the idea for publication, if you want to be published, if you don't have the grammar in line, then it's an automatic strikeout for you.
Yeah. Well, now, something like that, what would that kind of course cost?
That
6
is
weeks.
very affordable. It's $60 for 6 weeks.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
That's extremely
It's
affordable.
and we want to
Why
keep
don't
the
people take
classes.
advantage of this?
Exactly. So it's brand new, and we're just getting the word out and starting our
Oh,
marketing on
I
it.
think you'll have a lot of interest in that. That's so interesting. Now, I'm excited about your Feature Fridays performing arts series in downtown because I'm downtown, and I'm so excited that SU has much greater presence in downtown Salisbury. Are we keeping that up? Is that something that's going to continue?
So that came into our department a short time ago.
You're acquiring everything outside of the college.
And Feature Friday is really a way to say to the community, we have fabulous faculty, we have fabulous staff, and we want you to hear their talents. And so again, once a month, this second Friday of each month, we meet at the Brick Room in downtown. There's no cover charge. We do say to folks, you do have to be 21. And but we fill the space and have a chance to listen to absolutely beautiful music. So
who, for example?
So on September 15th, Lee Nyer and friends will be playing. Diana
That's
Wagner.
exciting.
Yeah, Diana Wagner is actually a folk singer, and she will be on October 13th.
Is she a professor here?
She's in the education department.
Okay.
Yes, so education professor by day and folk singer
By
night. And she plays around the peninsula. So we're excited that she'll be part of this. On November 10th, Danielle Cumming is a guitarist, and John Wright sings. So their combination.
John Wesley Wright. I'll go anywhere to hear him sing.
So
he sings with our choir at church.
Okay, so
from
you'll
time
be able
to
to just
time.
walk across the street and
Just
join us.
Not even across, just around the corner, and I
you
could
go.
hear. Oh, I think he's so amazing that everyone should hear him sing.
Yeah.
When's he there?
He's there on November 10th.
November 10th.
So 6 to 7. So what we say
a
is
Friday night.
Friday night, and then on December 8th, we're having a holiday sing-along. So we said the Brick Room, we're having it to be an old-fashioned neighborhood pub.
Love it.
We'll come in and we'll just sing holiday songs.
It really is, isn't it? It has that sort of city feel to
Exactly.
it. Yeah, and they've expanded it now, so you have
So
a
there's
little
a
bit
whole,
more
we're in a
room.
whole separate area.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, we're just in the side
On the
room,
right
which is the
room.
perfect spot, right?
Yeah, it truly is. Okay, so for those that are interested, since we've been talking performing arts, there's been for a while the Presto program, which I think it started with the music, theater, and dance
Correct.
department. Are you now inheriting that program as
We
well?
did inherit that. So Presto really is a continuing education program. And so it is part of our department, and we work very closely with the music faculty because it's important to ensure the academic integrity of the program, and we do that by having our close relationship with the faculty. And it is music lessons, guitar lessons, piano lessons, cello, violin.
So individual lessons.
Individual lessons, as well as group piano lessons, and that is often for people who are a little bit older who've said, you know what, I want to go back and learn piano. I've always said I was going to learn piano, so this is a chance to do it. We also do voice lessons.
You do.
So for the emerging singer, this is a great
Or the one
way.
who used to sing and can't sing anymore.
And we don't provide recording for your first album, but I'm sure there's lots of
But
resources.
really, so I could sign up through the Presto program to take voice lessons.
Correct. Yes.
Which I need desperately.
Right. And then on December 12th, you'll be part of a recital, which is a way that we showcase all of our talented people. Yes.
Are you forced to do that, or good?
Never. That's the beauty.
Because you caught my interest until you talked about a performance. No performances. My solo work ended about 40 years ago. Another series that I think is also part of your bailiwick, and I remember you received a scholarship for this, or some sort of sponsorship from the Community Foundation, is the Girls Innovation Academy. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that's a new program that we launched this summer. It's a leadership, technology, sustainability focus for middle school girls.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That's the age group. Okay.
Right. So it's middle school girls. We bring to campus for 1 week in June, 1 week in July, and then again in August, we'll have the same group of young girls coming and learning about technology, the relationship of technology, and how do you apply it. So we have tours every day of some different place on campus that they can learn about. So everything from the simulation center to again, sustainability, and really having the conversations of girls of why is it important for technology to be technologically savvy? What classes do you need to take now to continue your quest in this area? So when you think about STEM, you have to be taking the math and science classes and not only through middle school but high school if you think you want a career in that.
And it's so important. And, you know, as a woman who grew up in the 50s, 60s, you know, where we took home ec instead of VOTEC and that kind of thing, we were always steered in the direction away from the technology area. Of course, we didn't even have computers then, so.
I remember that.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
You're not that old, I don't think, but I do. I mean, the only computers we had in college were those great big machines, you know, with the little punch cards that you put in them, and that was it. And you know, if you didn't take that course, you didn't have any technology.
Exactly. And we've also had conversations with girls about social media and the importance of, you know, being careful of what you put out on social media. So Dr. Paula Morris was able to do a presentation on what is your social media brand? Who do you want to be on your social media profile? And having those conversations.
You should have that conversation with some adults too that
that
I follow on Facebook. Please don't make another political comment.
Exactly.
You might want to take that back.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's such a different world now. I mean, everything that I just post pictures of my children and my dogs and my grandchildren, but it's just, you know, once it's out there, it's out there, and I don't think people realize you can't take it back.
Exactly. And some young people say, well, I don't care. And we're having the conversations of why should you care?
Right.
You know, so the world is full of lots and lots of good people.
Well, I've heard of colleges who are checking the social media pages of applicants and excluding people because of some of the things that they've said. So
and the first thing you do if you're going to hire someone is you'll go through, and after you decide whether this is a candidate, you know, the question becomes, do you Google them and see what's out there?
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you got the community support from the Community Foundation. Any other support you've received?
Yes, and the Community Foundation, we received
from the Women's Fund, right?
From the Women's Fund,
yes.
Right. We received funding that allows us to reduce our operating costs. And then we also had individuals who gave donations, and because of those donations, we were actually able to then lower the cost of the registration. So
what does it cost a middle school student?
It's $495 for 3 weeks
for the summer,
right? For the summer, and it's a 9 to 4 program. Each day we have lunch in the Commons, in the dining hall, which is
that's a treat.
Quite, I was going to say they have those girls being surrounded by lots of different students of all ages. And then we have, we made it really accessible for people who are working parents. And so the program's from 9 to 4, but we use my office, the University House, as a drop-off site. So from 7:30 until 9, parents can drop off their children.
Oh,
and
that's great.
And then from 4 to 5:30, they can pick them up. So we try to say, okay, as a working parent, let's make this easy. And we'll have them in a supervised environment.
That's a terrific program. That really is. Speaking of our community, the center recently partnered with Greater Salisbury Committee on, and I have to look at this, the Transformational Community Leadership Series.
Correct.
What's that?
This is a fabulous initiative that brings together more than 50 young professionals of the community to learn more about Wicomico County. So each month we meet for 4 hours, and we have a tour of different facilities all around the county that have an impact on the health and well-being of our area. And so we've visited the county jail, and then had a conversation afterward with law enforcement of how does that impact, how does crime impact our community. We went and visited 2 schools and talked about the situation of what is it like for our children in our current schools. And we visited one school that was new, and we visited another school that was slated to be remodeled and rebuilt. So having that conversation, and then listening to members of the school board and saying, okay, what does this mean for our future?
So I see this as a really great opportunity to sort of inform the young professionals and create leaders in the future.
And have them start thinking about what is your role?
Mm-hmm.
So as you're looking forward to Are you going to be working as a, in public service? Are you going to be a leader within your organization? But as you're thinking about this community, what are you doing about it? And having conversations about the individual impact that you can have on the well-being.
So how did the participants get involved in that?
This was, again, an initiative that I took over. And so when
Do you
I
sleep?
Yes. And I play with my border collie and my husband. We have a very nice downtime. But it was an initiative that the Greater Salisbury Committee and Salisbury University, Robbie Sheehan, had talked about and saying, this is obviously, the leadership development is an area that is near and dear to my heart. And so how do we create an opportunity? And it meets once a month. We'll be wrapping up in October, and just very excited about just the knowledge and the relationships that are building with
It's a
the
good
people.
networking opportunity for a
Exactly.
young professional.
Right.
Yeah, really would be great.
And people are meeting folks that they didn't know. Again, so learning
How
about
many people are involved in it?
52
52.
participants. Yes, so it's a
You
nice
said that,
size
yeah.
class. Yes.
Gosh, that's terrific. Obviously, you believe that lifelong learning is really important. Why is it so important?
I think education is about hope. And hope is such a beautiful thing that when you're learning, you're growing. Life is change, growth is optional. You have that question, and that's what lifelong learning is that it's the world is always changing. There's so much to know. There's so many passions that you can have. And in lifelong learning can be in a classroom. It can be reading a book on your Kindle. It can be going to a movie and then having a conversation afterwards. So lifelong learning takes...
Your book club.
Exactly.
Right.
And think about after you've left your book club and the conversations you had and how people brought up something that you hadn't thought about and how you stay with that.
When Richard Culver asked me if I would do this interview program, I thought, you know what? I'll learn so much from that. And I have. And one of the things I've learned is how much this college has to offer to not just its students, but the community. And I think that sort of is the theme of what you're trying to do, is to connect the college with the community and give them more opportunities to learn.
And we really see the Center for Extended and Lifelong Learning we see our role as saying, here's some new programs that we're offering, and here's all these other things that are going on. And so it's saying that, cultural affairs and Panorama will be, what a great resource. And making sure that as we go out and talk about our programs, that people are also aware of other things that are going on. And so many of those programs are free.
People will say to me, oh, how do you stand living on the Eastern Shore? Isn't it boring? I have a lot of friends because I used to live in New York for a while. And I'll say, boring? You have to be boring to find it boring, because there is so much going on, particularly related to the college. It's you could do something every night.
Exactly. And you just have to look.
Right.
So it's up to you to say, okay, I'm bored, so what are we going to do about it?
If you're bored, that's your problem.
Exactly.
Because there's so much to offer. And I love the fact that you're here now and doing all of this for the college. What a terrific job. It's so exciting, I think.
It has absolutely been fabulous. I have a fabulous team, and we're just moving forward and saying, okay, what else is there?
What else can we do?
And we always like to say to folks, we're an emerging department, brand new. So if we're missing something, let us know.
And how do people contact you and to find out what's going on within your
So
organization?
we do have a website that's part of the campus website. So our landing page is Salisbury/DD or Salisbury.edu/cell. So
okay, we'll flash that up.
Right,
so that's
Center
good.
for Extended and Lifelong Learning, CELL. And then the easiest way is just shoot us off an email and say, add me to your list. So CELL, Center for Extended and Lifelong Learning at salisbury.edu.
CELL. I was trying to get what the acronym was.
Right.
CELL. Okay. And you say there's a newsletter as well?
Right, so we do a newsletter. That's an
email?
e-news, that we have. And then we also, again, we're all through the community putting down our brochure that we'll have a catalog that comes out and with a hard copy of our programs.
Well, I've got to get myself on that list. I don't think I am.
You will be after today.
I bet I will.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your being here, Mary Angela. We're so lucky to have you, and I hope everyone will get in touch with you and find something that triggers their interest.
Exactly. We have lots of fabulous things going on.
Very good. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
And now, here's a look at what else is happening on the campus in September. I'd like to thank my guest, Mary Angela Baker, Director of SU's Center for Extended and Lifelong Learning. This month, over 8,700 students will return to SU for the new semester. We wish all of them a successful fall semester and an enjoyable school year. I'm Susan Purnell. This has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching.